But, yeah, so I worked with a, local, pediatric palliative care team, and we worked on taking clinical practice guidelines. So those are, if you're not familiar with clinical practice guidelines, they basically a bunch of experts in the field come together and say what the best practices are. And so practice guidelines are always getting refined and renewed and reviewed. But I looked at domain 6, which is the cultural aspects of care, and because the population that I was gonna be working with is the pediatric palliative care team, I just took kind of 6.33, um, out of their thing that specifically talked about pediatrics, and, uh, how you create culturally relevant care. And so, um my project is I created a training program around that clinical
And
practice.
you pick this program yourself, or does someone like give it to you?
You pick your own project, and then you have to find a site, which one of my classmates actually had built a relationship with this team. And so she decided to go in a different direction with her project. And so I was able to work with them. So it's kind of a convoluted project, and things evolve as you're in your program. Because again, before I had started and some of it's based on your area of interest and also your site, what their area of interest. So when I met with this team, um, it had been brought up while I was there that some of their patients were feeling like um, they weren't being treated the same because of their race. And so that got a conversation. And I was telling them, like, oh, my research interest and what I had, originally been looking to do was creating this toolkit for providers and stuff. And so I went back and did another couple literature searches, which are time consuming, but you want to see what's the available information out there so you can make best practices. Found this clinical practice guideline. And so that's kind of the highest evidence because um, that means that experts in that field have come together, have reviewed the available literature, and said, these are our recommendations based on that. And so, but, just like places have a diversity statement, right? Or have some high level thing, clinical practice guideline, high up here, right? And then you have your actual clinic or hospital. How do you get that from this high, this is what you should do, or this is your diversity statement, right? And how do you actually get it into practice? That's what my project was.
So, what's the plan for the celebration after you graduate?
Oh no, yeah.
No party plan yet?
Oh
No,
my
like
goodness.
there has to be something.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
you
my
need,
family's working on
yeah,
that.
you need to get AJ on that.
Yeah, I think he's working on that. Yeah, it's definitely, 3 years, full time, um, is a lot, especially, post-pandemic. I started school in 2021, and so looking back, I'm like, "Was I nuts? Am I certifiably insane?" Because I had a newborn. Well, I guess at that time, Lola was probably about 18 months. Or yeah, about 18 months, I think. And, was working full time, commuting from Tacoma to Seattle, and then I was like, "Let's get a doctorate degree."
Yeah,
It's
you're like
crazy.
me. Like I'm doing stuff 28 hours a day. Oh, here's another project.
Yeah, yeah. I know, it's a problem. I'm trying to work out. So, one of my goals is to live a softer life after I finish school and just,
We both know that's
take
not
the
gonna
time.
happen. You're gonna just something. You're gonna do. You're gonna next thing you're gonna like do some kind of AI website to do something right.
Well, I'm hoping to get back into, Zeta stuff and some of the nursing organizations and be more active in that.